Hey everybody, welcome to Bodhi and Wellness. Today we're talking using Gua Sha for muscle pain. Now if you haven't already, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Now, Gua Sha, what is it? You may have heard this term, you may have seen these funny little pieces of stone and steel. Often it's used today, a lot of women are using it for cosmetic reasons to actually help their skin. But traditionally, Gua Sha was actually used for removing any fascial adhesions, basically any stagnations in the soft tissue that lead to pain. And this, we're dating back like literally 700 years back to the Ming Dynasty. But a very effective tool. Now let me tell you, there are lots of different substances that people use. So it could come in jade, could come in rose quartz, could come in even stainless steel, if I can get this up, even stainless steel. But they've used ceramic soup spoons. You could use just your own soup spoon at home, a steel soup spoon, no problem. But it's a very simple technique. And what you're looking to do is mobilize soft tissue. And this is wonderful for pain in the body. And you can pretty much use it anywhere over your entire body. And you can't really do it wrong unless you just do it too hard, which I'm going to show you. But this is a great way that you can basically use a little self-care and get yourself out of a lot of pain. So what we're looking to do with Gua Sha, and Gua Sha basically translates to scraping of petechia or scraping of sand, basically how it translates. And what we're looking to do is mobilize the tissue. And if you think of your tissue, kind of think of like a 4-layer cake that has skin, fat, fascia, muscle. And those top 3 layers should move really smoothly and easily over the muscle tissue. So when the muscle flexes, doesn't have any restrictions. And all those therapies that have come out now, myofascial release, ART, fascial stretch, Rolfing, all these different tissues are basically looking to mobilize the tissue. And so this is a very simple way you can do this for yourself. And all you need is a Gua Sha tool, which are really inexpensive. You can get them online. Tons of sites sell them. You can get them on Amazon or whatever. And a little bit of oil. So for example, I'm going to use my forearm. And so yesterday I was doing some bone conditioning as a part of my Kung Fu. I'll put a little video here. You can see how my forearms take a lot of impact where I'm hitting what's called a mukchang. It's a wooden dummy where you're striking against these wooden limbs and it's going to put in some fascial lesions. So we're going to do a little self-care today. So I make my own oil, but any body oil will do. I use organic cold-pressed olive oil and I infuse it with lavender that I grow in my backyard, so I make my own oil. And basically what you just need is a little bit of oil. This is just gonna make everything slide a little bit easier. But once again, any oil will do. It doesn't really matter. I just love the smell of lavender. And so we're gonna start with it. I'm gonna use the J tool today. So we're gonna start with the concave side. So this is the side that bends in. And what we're gonna gently do is place it against the skin and we're going to slide up and down. And we're gonna be explorative in the first thing. And we're gonna check that all the tissue moves smoothly. And we're gonna be looking for any, basically kind of feels like gravel where it goes, or anything that feels ropey that kind of flicks back and forth against it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna slowly spend a few moments, and even just spending a few minutes, so you could be sitting down watching Netflix and just going through and giving a little bit of self-care. And once again, if this is on your shins, your thigh, your neck, your shoulders, or your forearm, and once you find an area, like right here, where there's a little bit of crunchy stuff going on here, feels like a little bit like gravel, then we're gonna flip it over to the convex side, and we're gonna get in there and give a little scrape. And so once again, we can start nice and easy and just sort of, you're basically shearing away or freeing up any fibrosis, any scar tissue, what are called fascial adhesions, any sticky spots where the muscle is stuck to the fascia, not allowing it to slide properly. So we can spend a little time going through a little bit of scrape, flip it back over, check your work, come back through. And you'll be amazed, it doesn't take very long for this actually to affect functionality and get rid of pain. Really, really wonderful. Anywhere around any bony process, definitely go a little bit gentler, a little bit lighter. You don't want to break the skin. Now you are going to create petechial hemorrhaging. You're going to get some bruising, some reddening that comes up actually. So where that reddening comes up, stuff was stuck together. If the tissue is totally fine, you're actually not going to see anything. It's going to go a little bit red and then go right back to pink very quickly. But if there are areas where things are stuck together, you're going to break those fascial adhesions, those restrictions that don't allow for movement, and you're going to take that pain out right away. Now, how often, how hard? How often? Basically, once you do a treatment for yourself, this is now trauma, and this is going to need to heal. So the next day, do you want to do this again? Well, you're going to check it. Does it feel tender? If it's still feeling tender, give it a day of rest. If it's still feeling tender the next day, give it another day of rest. But if you're fine the next day, if you went gentle and you can do it, absolutely no problem. So use pain as your guide. You don't want to be basically poking a cut because you are creating some trauma to the area, and you don't want to go the next day and re-traumatize that already traumatized area. So as I said, these come in a variety of different shapes and sizes. They have different grooves that you can move through the different areas of tissue. Really wonderful way. And as I said, always start with the bent inside, the concave side, a little gentler so that you can be explorative and check what the tissue is like, and then switch it over, moving to the deeper part to scrape through that tissue. So the stainless steel is really, really nice because it has a bit of a finer edge to it. And this is more like using a soup spoon kind of thing. But you can get in here and really break things down. Now, with this one, I feel a lot more of those crunchy bits that need to come out in my forearm. So I can spend a few minutes here kicking back, relaxing, watching TV or doing whatever, and slowly break this down. And what you'll see is some reddening starting to come up here where the fascial adhesions are starting to break down, freeing up the flexion and extension in my hand. So you don't have to go very hard. Use pain as your guide when you go. Less is more. Don't try to fix it all in one treatment. It's better to nibble away at it versus chopping away like chopping down a tree. Just slowly scrape her out, scrape her out, scrape her out. And once again, you can use this anywhere that you have muscle pain. Now, for anyone looking to use these in a cosmetic fashion, looking to use them on their face, you're going to go very, very gently because once again, you don't want to cause bruising on your face. And there's a bazillion videos out there using this for cosmetic. I'm not going to go into that, having to do it this way, do it that way, up, down, whatever the case may be. The reality is it's all about mobilizing tissue. And when you mobilize that tissue, you move blood and oxygen. You allow the movement of blood and oxygen and, of course, the release of toxins. So it is a great way to keep your body healthy and keep all the functionality of that soft tissue. Give it a try. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. Do me a favor, as always, share this video with your friends, your family, anybody who has some pain and needs a little bit of self-care. I'll drop a link underneath so you can see some places where you can get the Gua Sha tools, but really they're available everywhere online. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.